now get to see if this works. So, the mod pack that my guys had me download at work had a lot of profanity. Okay, which doesn't really bother me that much, but it was a bit much in the game. It was kind of everywhere. So, I'm trying to remove some of that. And then I added in a whole bunch of, like, dice and slides, decapitations, murder type stuff, and fighting styles, and movement. So, if everything runs, if everything runs and we can figure out how to play the game. Also, I tried to disable give me a second here. Let's try that again because I minimized it. I tried to disable the whatchamacallit. Now you gotta think, I'm rusty. I'm trying to relearn all this stuff because it's been, I don't know, 10, 15 years since I've had to deal with all this kind of stuff and deal with new whatever this stuff is. But I'm trying to keep the original game's perk tree instead of doing the crazy bonus game's perk tree. But we're also going to be trying to keep all of the extra spells that people added to the game. So we're going to keep the perk tree, keep the spells that they added, and then get rid of the crazy perk tree, ideally. Because I want to see how good the poisons are in the base game. So the thing is that the mod that we put in changes all of the perks completely. So we're still gonna do Imperial, and then we'll see if our preset's still in here. Hey. Name our character. Do we still go with our regular name? Alright, we're gonna let this all run and do its stuff. After we get in the game, I will attempt to do some of this other thing. I think we're going to want to try and avoid... Oh, speaking of which, I probably should use this mic. I think we're going to want to try and avoid all the story missions as much as we can. Also, why is there an NPC in here? That's my question. It's a lot of stuff. So we're still going to try and do the same thing that we've been doing. Hopefully... I mean, maybe it'll work itself out. But, what I would like is for us to have the original perks from the base game. Maybe we'll have extra crafting, I don't know. And then the extra mods that I put in to allow us to use the ritual stone and stuff for a longer period of time. Just because that makes it to where we don't have to, like, abuse the crown mechanic. So I'm trying not to change the base game too much. But then we have all this extra stuff. Now, from this mod pack that we got forced to download, we disabled one of the parts. I kind of did some research and I disabled one of the parts that okay, I don't know about my character not being able to move.
Speak and fulfilled your destiny.
So we might have broke something. Let's do a vanilla start and see if we can get our character to actually start moving. But ideally, we're removing some of the stuff that's just cluttering up my screen and my inventory and abilities and probably some of the world stuff. Not really needed for gameplay. And then ideally we are adding in some interesting, you know, decapitation effects and stuff, which might end up impacting our ability to actually generate an undead army, but we'll see. Yeah, this is 100% broken. I'm the driver. We'll see how bad this break is. Last time we tried doing this with this mod, the starting mission does not work at all. Like it was terrible.
You finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us, and that thief over there.
Damn you Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along. Empire was nice and lazy. If they hadn't been looking for you, could have stolen that horse and been halfway to Hammerfell. You there, you and me, we shouldn't be here. It's these Stormcloaks the Empire wants.
We're all brothers and sisters in binds now.
Shut up back there.
What's wrong with him, huh?
Watch your tongue. You're speaking to Ulfric Stormcloak, the true High King.
Ulfric, the Jarl of Windhelm? You're the leader of the rebellion. They've captured you. Oh gods, where are they taking us?
I don't know where we're going, but Sovngarde awaits.
No, this can't be happening. This isn't happening.
Hey, what village are you from, horse thief?
Why do you care?
A Nord's last thoughts should be of home.
Rorikstead. I'm from Rorikstead.
Kind of weird that you can yeah. So, we broke the game. See if making another one will fix it or not. Race Imperial preset. Okay. Let's see what happens if I re-enable the stuff I disabled. Although I try, like, I don't see why any of those would have to do with me. It would probably have to do with, if I was to guess, the walking animations that we downloaded. Let's see what happens. Because we have male and female idle walk and run things that we added. It's not acting like there's a problem here, so... I just broke this. Holy shit. Somehow I broke it, and I don't know what I did. Try to swap profile. If the only way I can get it to work is turning on all that bullshit again, I mean, I can. It's not gonna kill me, but I'd prefer not to. I think part of this is that I hit update and went through some bullshit earlier today. It seems like also if I buy a new SSD and I upgrade my PC a little bit, I could get this whatever this one mod is that's supposed to make things look better. But the videos I saw, I mean, it looked good, like tree-wise and stuff, but and like the armor and stuff looked good, but the NPCs and stuff looked worse. Close that, reopen Vortex. Hopefully I don't have to like uninstall and reinstall everything, because that would be a pain. Let's do so this one has, I think, all of the regular things. Yeah, so parkour and all that is off on this one, I believe. Okay, so let's do, what was the thing? Let's, we're gonna turn off let me check something real quick. Yeah, let's turn this off as well, because it's getting into a dark place right here. I'm gonna turn all of these off because I don't know what they are, but they're all seem to be related, so we're gonna turn all those off and we will run the game. Unresolved conflict. I think when I updated the mod things, it busted the game. I don't even know how to fix this anymore. Okay, let's go mods. Purge. Control plus click or shift plus click. Control A. Okay. Purge. Preparing thou purge. I'm not sure how this works, so let's see. Nothing really seemed to happen, so I guess we'll see. But my main monitor, half of the screen, almost 75% of the screen, I can't see. What does that even say? These are all disabled. Okay, maybe that's what's wrong. $82,000 out of 100,000 files. Damn. 85,000. 87,000. This is a process. I will give them that.
Combat changes. I'm gonna block here. Come on. Back out a bit. Back out a bit. There's a lot of wolves. Let's take out this one. There we go. Alright. One more wolf here. Come on. Got it. And you see how combat is actually really nice in third person? There we go. Dealt with the wolves.
Don't upload your videos.
Okay, so plugins are all disabled. So let me... So that might be the problem. Let me go in here real quick. Let's do... Let's turn all these on. It's gonna be a lot of clicking. Okay. Is there not like a turn on all button in here? That's my question. Holy moly. Let me just... work from the bottom up or something, because Jesus. This could be literal hours of clicking. That is crazy. Need like a macro key. You'd think they would have something. Just think that this is somebody's job right here to just like set and click buttons on a computer all day in an office somewhere. Crazy. Lot of green. Okay, we're almost there. should be everything. Now, collections, mods. Let's see. We have... Okay. So that is off, and we'll turn perks off. So we'll try to start the game with what we have, and then we can come back and turn on the other stuff. So, realistic water, horse. So we have stances that we need, I think. Or no, we don't need stances. Because I don't know if the Honor for Skyrim thing works with the other weapon mods. So maybe let's do the Honor for Skyrim. Let's see here. Skyrim Combat AI Revolution. So what's this one called? Scar.
back down.
Little game.
I'm tempted because they have an updated version of this, but it says you got to delete something out of the other file. Yeah, these are all this month, so... What to do? I guess we just download it. And then this one as well. Okay. Let's do back to Vortex plugins. Okay, let's do mods. I'm going to disable these for right now. Okay. So let's give her a good old college try real quick. Okay. Still can't launch. I don't understand what's going on. I somehow messed up the load order or something, and I don't know how to fix it. Oh my. I really butched this up a lot. Holy shit. They got the stuff spread out all over the place. I can't even tell what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, somehow it fixed itself. Maybe. I think what happened was I came in, I hit check for updates. It updated 50,000 mods, and then I had to go and manually click yes or no on everything, but like after doing a bunch of them, I started doing the other one and telling it to cancel. So I don't even know how I could redo it if I fucked up. Yep, that was a game crash. Let's go for round 2. Let me launch this game in regular mode first.
That was a clip of Dr. Bart Ehrman on Alex O'Connor's podcast, Within Reason. Dr. Ehrman is a scholar and analyst of the biblical New Testament and is a very well-respected member of his field. The clip is from a very interesting discussion the two had, and I thought it would fit very nicely here in framing the main historical issue with Mirak's claim. I'll post the full discussion in the description if any of you would like to check that video out, hopefully after you watch this. The first and most apparent problem with Mirak as the first Dragonborn in a chronological sense is that there is nothing backing this claim up in-game. Mirak states that he is the first Dragonborn, yes, but there is not a single other source that corroborates this claim in the timeline outside of that one quote. You see, historically speaking, it's improper to just take a claim at face value like that. Otherwise, we would have to believe everything that historical documents state. And if we did that, we would have no actual basis for the factual reality of the past. Take Herodotus, for example. Herodotus is widely acclaimed to be the world's first Western historian. His work, known as the Histories, is a compilation of stories that Herodotus collected during his lifetime from throughout the Greek world. His work is insurmountably important, but that's not to say that it's entirely correct. Herodotus frequently gets numbers wrong in his work, overestimates army sizes, and at certain points seems to heavily imply the existence of mythological creatures. This is where archaeology and science can enter the equation and verify the truth of the matter asserted, so we can figure out what Herodotus was correct and incorrect about. And this is basically the process of history. When I was in college, for example, I frequently had to find multiple sources backing up the same conclusion when writing historical papers. Otherwise, the professor would simply not accept my work. And I think the same process of verification needs to be applied here. But wait a minute, you may say. This is not a historical document we're talking about. This is a direct quote from Mirak himself. I would be happy to grant you this. Yes, we are receiving a direct assertion from Mirak that he is the first. But I would again remind you, this is nothing more than a bold assertion, and the same criteria for analyzing the histories must be used in analyzing
Nascido do dragão sem vira, coração de guerreiro, Dragonborn vem, com a voz imponente de antigo poder. Ó povo, acredite, o dragão.
Is a complicated time. this is not sufficient evidence or evidence at all, actually, that proves his claim. An absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, is an adjective sure
när långsin och sparring Bandai, lokul, maferacas bal Actinoro palgran, todas los introsan Lovakin, farin, ugan mudra
two places outside of Tamriel, Atmora and Akavir. Akavir has been referred to as
Nascido, nascido do dragão sem vira
priests who established a certain order between dragons
Coração
and the
de guerreiro, Dragonborn vem Com a voz imponente de antigo poder Oh,
People often ask, so how do you make money? While our federal return is always free, we make money from our optional paid services, like our state tax return, which is less than $20. Next, you may be asking, is Free Tax USA safe? Yes, we always keep your information encrypted, private, and secure.
Alright, number 5.
Dragon Guard of the First Era are said to have come to Tamriel in search of a dragonborn. When greeted with the voice of Raymond Cyrodiil during the events of Pale Pass, they surrendered on the spot, and it's the reason behind their surrender that we're interested in here. They surrendered because they, apparently, had been searching for Raymond. The exact quote that the Akaviris say to Raymond in the book, The Rise and Fall of the Blades, is, "We have been searching for you." This is widely considered to mean that the Dragon Guard were searching not for Raymond specifically, but for a dragon. The Book of the Dragon adds to this, stating that the Akaviri soldiers were the first people to even proclaim Raymond to be a dragonborn. And because of this, what I really want to touch on here is the possibility of
na
dragonborns
långsin och sparring Bandai, lokul, maferacas bal Actinoro palgran, todas los introsan Lovakin, farin, ugan mudra
of being dragonborns from Akavir. However, we also are not allowed to assume Akaviri dragonborns on this
Nascido, nascido do dragão sem vira
some sense knew what a Dovahkiin was.
Coração de guerreiro, Dragonborn vem
Or some secret third thing we may never
Com a
know.
voz
It's an
imponente
interesting
de
topic to bring up.
antigo poder
And of course, then there's Atmora. Now,
Ó
Atmora does not
povo,
boast any knowledge
acredite, o
about
Dragonborn
but
vem
it does have information about a dragon cult, which I think is
De
important.
Skyrim verá o fim de todo o mal
Before his service to her Miss Mora.
É inevitável, o Dragonborn vem
Between being a Dovahkiin and being a dragon priest.
A lenda prediz ao fim da escuridão
Small sentence in a lore book from the Dragonborn DLC.
Silêncio precinta, ele já está aqui
In The Guardian and the Traitor, the story of Mirak's banishment from Solstheim is told. The Guardian, identified as Valok the Jailer, and the Traitor, Mirak, are both dragon priests. When Valok discovers Mirak's allegiance to Hermaeus Mora, the two face off in battle, and this is the interesting part. The exact passage describing the fight goes as follows.
Dovahkiin, Dovahkiin, na långsin och sparring Bandai, lokul, maferacas bal Actinoro palgran, todas los introsan Dovahkiin, farin, ugan mudra
But it is worth discussing that Valok's Thum was able to not only stand his own ground against Mirak, but beat him so decisively that Hermaeus Mora was forced to shelter Mirak in Apocrypha to save him from death. This power of the Thum could have been gifted to Valok as a power from his dragon patron, or it is possible that simply through his own study, he was able to learn powerful shouts. This is when we get into is an example of another Nord who has the ability to shout with power equal to or exceeding that of a known Dragonborn. One final note about Valok the Jailer is that when faced in the Elder Scrolls V, he actually knows no shouts. This can lead us in two directions. Direction 1, this is canon and proves that the original story was lying when it referred to Valok's shouting. Or direction 2, Bethesda didn't add in the ability for him to shout because it would have forced them to make additions to the base Dragon Priest abilities, and this was considered too much work. Am I implying that Bethesda would cut such corners? Perhaps the world will never know. So we've of course discussed all types of topics at this point, from the necessities of historical evidence to the Akaviri Dragon Guard to even Mirak's own foundational story. What I would like to touch on next entails Mirak's downfall at the hands of the player character from the Elder Scrolls V's Last Dragonborn. Now, the Last Dragonborn is referred to with this title due to the prophecy of the Dragonborn. This prophecy is stated to hail from an Elder Scroll itself and be Akaviri in origin. It goes as follows. When misrule takes its place at the 8 corners of the world, when the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, when the thrice blessed fail and the red tower trembles, when the dragonborn ruler loses his throne and the white tower falls, when the snow tower lies sundered, kingless, bleeding, the world eater wakes and the wheel turns.
You founded your kayak company because you love the ocean, not spreadsheets. You need to hire. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
That was a lot of fun last night. I'm just glad we finally tried that Rugiette. You know, we always have a lot of fun. Last night was a lot of fun. You want to do it again? Tonight?
I can think of anything I'd rather do.
Unlike generic ED meds that only have one active ingredient, Rugiette Ready is next level. It combines 3 powerful ingredients that work together to enhance both the mental and physical sides of arousal. So you're not only just physically ready, but mentally in the game too, helping him get stronger, longer lasting erections. Since finding Rugiette Ready, my man's confidence is back. And let me tell you, that confidence carries over everywhere. So if you or your partner are looking to bring that spark back, trust me, Rugiette Ready is the real deal.
Upon the Last Dragonborn. Quite a lot to digest all at once, but for avid fans of the Elder Scrolls series, some of the meanings of this prophecy may be clear. Each line seems to denote an event which is paramount to one of the plots of the mainline games. The World Eater wakes, and the wheel turns upon the Last Dragonborn is our final line, which describes the events of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. The World Eater in this instance is of course Alduin. The wheel refers to the Orbis, which is also the universe, and the Last Dragonborn then seems to be a direct reference to the player character from Skyrim. So why did I just bring all of that up? Well, I wanted to show where the information about the Last Dragonborn's title comes from. It's from the prophecy of an Elder Scroll, which, I should remind you, Elder Scrolls are subject to change. They're not fixed until the events they foretell are carried out, which is just an interesting point to note. Also, the prophecy is littered with poetic-style descriptions of events. Things are not laid out clearly, is my point, despite our abilities to interpret the scroll. So, how do we know here in this instance that the Last Dragonborn is also in reference to chronology? The short answer is that we don't. Now, it would be reasonable to assume that they're talking about a temporal usage of the word last, but how exactly can we know? Is it really accurate to say that the player character from Skyrim is the last being that Akatosh will ever grant the dragon blood to? Well, I don't know, which may sound like a cop-out, but I think sometimes admitting when you don't know is the most honest thing you can do. Personally, in a meta sense, I think it would be foolish for Bethesda Game Studios to cut off the possibility of ever even seeing a Dovahkiin again, but that's not really anything to do with actual in-game lore. Routing back to first and last, though. First and last to do what, exactly? This is really the linchpin here. If you've made it this far, please stick around for the rest. This dialogue comes from ESO's Necrom chapter, which allows you to venture into Apocrypha once more. In Apocrypha, there is a delve known as Choir's Wind, which holds this note.
My fellow ciphers, I am sorry. I have been a fool. I sabotaged Choir's Wind at the first servant's bidding. It started with small favors, retrieving books no one would miss in exchange for
Okay,
gold,
we're gonna turn
or
off
receiving
all
help
of
with my
these
own ambitions.
OSTEM things.
But the first servant trapped me, drew me deeper into his plots until I could refuse nothing he demanded of me. I did not know the harm I was causing by helping that dragon-faced monster. But I should have. Sabinius.
This note is fascinating to me because it does something incredible. It gives us
A lot of OSTEM shit, apparently.
is actually in reference to. Finally, after nearly 11, 12 years, we've been given clarity. I think this passage clearly notes that Mirak is not the first Dragonborn to ever have existed, but the first Dragonborn to ever serve under Hermaeus Mora. Cipher Sabinius is very clear to mention 2 times the phrase first servant rather than first or first Dragonborn. To me, this is very telling that someone on the ESO writer's staff was aware of the fact that Mirak's claim in Dragonborn is unsubstantiated, so they decided to throw an old crotchety lorebeard like me a bone. Mirak was roped into Hermaeus Mora's schemes early in his life.
Don't have a pin anywhere.
DLC, he is attempting to be free from the Daedric Prince. Mora takes this opportunity to get his tentacles around the player character, and when Mirak dies, Mora states that he now has a new Dragonborn to serve him.
Alright, see what happens.
This points to the last Dragonborn being the last Dragonborn to serve Mora, which I think is far more likely than them being the last Dragonborn ever.
Dovahkiin, Dovahkiin, när Loxingos varin, Kvaldain, Lokul, Aferakas val, Aktinoro Palgran, pod nos Lonzin Rozal, Dovahkiin, Fahin, Ugan Mudra. Nascido, nascido do dragão sem vira. Coração de guerreiro, Dragonborn vem. Com a voz imponente.
Well, fuck. Let me...
Slovakin, naloksin losvarin, Bondain, Lokul, Maferaka swal, Akvinorok palgran, Podnosnozin brozan, Slovakin, Fahin, Bugan mudra. Nascido do dragão sem vira. Coração de guerreiro, Dragonborn vem. Com a voz imponente de um antigo poder. Ó povo, acredite, o Dragonborn vem. Skyrim verá o fim de todo o mal. É inevitável, o Dragonborn vem.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our Vortex tutorial series. I'm Jack, and today I'm going to be talking to you about load order in Bethesda RPGs. So we're talking Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, and Starfield. Sorry Morrowind players. If you're not looking to mod or manage any of the games that I just mentioned, you might be more interested in this video, where I talk more generally about plugin load order. But for those of you wanting to slay dragons with a lightsaber or tackle the wasteland in a catsuit, then stick around. Sorry Morrowind players. Let's tackle the elephant in the room. What even is load order? It's a pretty common term that you'll come to see if you spend some time in the modding community, so it's important that we tell you what it means. It's often loosely used to just mean the mods that you're adding to a game. So if you say, I'm adding a mod to my load order, it just means you're adding a mod to your game. It does have a more specific meaning though, which is that load order is the order in which the data files are loaded into your game. So why does this matter? And why should you care about the order in which your data files are loaded in? Well, consider this example. You've got a mod that increases the value of a specific shield in your game by 5 gold. Then, you've got a mod that increases the value of all shields in your game by 10 gold. The problem comes because both mods are trying to interact with the same game object, and it creates what we call a conflict. So which mod wins out in the conflict? Well, it's whichever mod comes last in your load order. We want our shields to have the higher value, so we'll choose this mod to come last in our load order. Luckily, for most Bethesda RPGs, Vortex uses a system called Loot. It's a community-sourced set of information about which mods work well together and how they should be installed. Vortex handles this automatically, so you can add as many mods as you want without ever really having to worry about your plugin load order. However, if Loot hasn't been updated yet for your most recent mod edition, you may run into some file conflict issues. Vortex uses a rule-based system that lets you determine which data files should be loaded before or after another. The rules that you set will be set in stone and will always be respected, so you can add as many mods as you like, and those rules will never be changed. If you're looking to set your own load order, you'll have to navigate to the Plugins tab here in Vortex. You'll see a list of files that will be installed into your game. You can see the load order in this column, and sort them by using this button at the top of the list. To set your own rules, drag this button from one mod to another, drawing a nice green line between them. If you have a lot of mods, it may be easier to use the Manage Rules button. If you're looking to set your own load order, you'll have to navigate. Vortex handles this automatically, so you can add as many mods as you want without ever really having to worry about your plugin load order. However, if Loot hasn't been updated yet for your most recent mod edition, you may run into some file conflict issues. Vortex uses a rule-based system that lets you determine which data files should be loaded before or after another. The rules that you set will be set in stone and will always be respected, so you can add as many mods as you like, and those rules will never be changed. If you're looking to set your own load order, you'll have to navigate to the Plugins tab here in Vortex. You'll see a list of files that will be installed into your game. You can see the load order in this column, and sort them by using this button at the top of the list. To set your own rules, drag this button from one mod to another, drawing a nice green line between them. If you have a lot of mods, it may be easier to use the Manage Rules button on the toolbar. Then, simply search for the mods in question. You can then tell Vortex if a mod must be loaded after, requires, or is incompatible with another mod. And ultimately, it's as simple as that. But if you're looking to get more technical, do check out the official Nexus Mods forum, or the official modding Discord. Links to both are in the description. But for now, thanks for watching. And if you want to find more modding content, then hit subscribe and check out the other videos on our channel. We've got loads of videos on some of the best mods for some of your favourite games, so do check them out. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Meet Steve. Steve reads the room and then goes against it. With FanDuel Predicts, Steve can take the side he's passionate about. Download FanDuel Predicts.
Hey, I'm Jack from Nexus Mods, and with this new series, we're going to be
Something's wrong, and I don't know what it is, but we gotta figure it out, boss. But we gotta figure it out. We can try loading an old save and see if it messes up, I suppose. Dovakin, Vesararin. For some reason, it's not letting me make a new character.
Skjor says that I have the strength of Israel, and my brother has his smarts.
FNIS or Nemesis. Okay. To rerun dashboard, click 3 dots. Dashboard. Click the 3 dots on the Forez new idols. I can't see anything. Okay, so it's saying go here, tools, and then we're going to Forbes new idols, edit. Sure, target point to generate. Sure, the target points to generate for users dot exe. Run it from the dashboard. Check gender specific animations. Okay. A lot of animation stuff. Okay, so this dashboard 4as edit. Edit. Sure target points to that. Run it from the dashboard. Check gender-specific animations and skills. Okay. Okay, Vortex, Skyrim, FNIS not configured. Okay. PC. First off, gotta figure out where the hell this is. Didn't think this was going to be this big of a pain in the ass, to be frank.
Two shots low tide?
Yeah, same old.
Okay. 4s. Alright, let's try to get this FNIS thing to work. Okay. So now we got that. And let me go ahead and try to get these. Okay. So now let's find that other video again. There's no way I just lost that. Okay, I don't know how I lost that video that I was just staring at, but let's do dashboard. I need to go to the dashboard and then here, edit, and I need to find where this thing went. Okay, so you got FNIS ESP. So then we're doing PC E Steam apps common special edition data I have wind roar. Holy fuck. Data. Tools. Okay, I found it. So here. Tools here. Generate. Open. Okay, settings. Okay. We have bunch of stuff I have no idea what it is. And all these. No idea what that is. All this is off. It seems fine. Mods. Don't have. What's this? That's the mod. So I want to enable that. I can activate that later if I need it. What is this? The Warrens. Overhauls the Warrens and Markarth. Too much crap on here, making some room. I think we are go for a test run. What? $200 or 774 conflicting files. Having problem with loading order shit again. I don't know how I can fix it. Everything was hunky-dory, you know, we had one thing to solve.